I'm glad y'all are back. Excited to review some stuff for y'all. I'm going to, without Anya here, I'm going to ask the chat, if this person's in there. If you are in here, just throw me a thumbs up when I ask if you're here. If we don't get a thumbs up, then we'll go on to the next person on the list. Engineer's the GOAT. I like that. All right, so we're gonna see here if it looks like Easy Way Zoo Street. Are you in the chat? Are you on board with us right now? If you are, just throw a thumbs up in the chat. Oh, Lashard, did we pin anything in Instagram?
No.
Did we paste it?
But yeah, put that link in there again.
Let me copy this link.
And I'm about to repost it to the story as well, so people don't get confused.
All right, so in the Instagram chat, I just posted the form link for you if you want to submit there. Cool. All right. I don't see our Easy Way Zoo Street has not responded in the chat yet. Okay, cool. We'll move on to the next one and come back if we need to. What about Eric Marin Music? Are you in the chat right now? Secret Sound Lab, are you Eric Marin Music? There you go. There we go. We got a thumbs up. That's what I'm talking about. All right, I'm going to download this file for me real quick. Okay, perfect. All right, so Eric, you're looking for overall feedback for final mix and master before release. Let's load this into Pro Tools and see what you got, my boy. All right. Okay, cool. Looks like this is called Equilateral. And I don't know if that's the artist name or not, but Desmond Wilkerson here. All right, so we're gonna get overall feedback on the mix and master. Let's give this one a listen.
Sitting on top of the world right now until I'm listen. From this view, I can see all the truths. I'm so in tune. I got proof when I go in the booth. I never lose off the 2-2, repping the deuce while rocking blue. My dogs is cool. Couple screws loose in the zoo. Who knew? Watching time fly off the coop will turn to prime time in the limelight. Not for you. Got a little older, but I still go to school. Learn something every day. Catch it, listen, that's a rule. Proper when I prosper. Make it happen, capping. Could have profit off the trapping, but that ain't the way it happens.
Hold on, Eric, you said it's not your track. Hold on 1 second. Eric, check the... Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. My fault, Eric. 1 second. Okay, there we go. All right, Eric. My fault here, sir. We're gonna play Eric's track real quick. We just loaded this in. Okay, my fault. This is called Historia. Let's just hide this out the way. All right, let's try this one more time. Nice.
cosas de nosotros ya nunca serán igual. Mejor me fumo otro para tratar de olvidar. Tú y yo tenemos nuestra historia, todos ya lo saben. Los que tú me mandas, nena, no te hagas encima de mí. Dijiste eso, tú sabes todo de mí, pero ya nada fue así. Baby, tú y yo tenemos historia. Ahora dices que perdiste la memoria. Toda la noche que le hicimos en tu cama, no se me olvida cómo te encantaba, baby. Ah, 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 yeah.
Man, that track's a banger. Track is super fire. The mix and master sounds good. I think the beat sounds really good. I like the beat mix there. The only thing I was hearing is just in the vocals. They just sound a little sibilant to me, which kind of get in the way of the hi-hats a little bit, and it's a little like harsh on the ears in these frequencies right here. Looks like 7K. And about 11K or so, I just pulled out a little bit and it kind of cleaned up. I just did with the mid band here just because that's where mostly the vocal would be. Track is super fire though. Like I love that song. That song's tight. If anybody wants to peep this track, I know you said it's gonna release soon, but it's called Historia. Super dope. Eric, you should post your handles and stuff in the chat so people can follow you and check in on you as well. Yeah, everything is super fire. Production super dope. Low end drums, all that we're hitting the way that I like to hear them. I thought all that was good. It was just for me. The vocals actually sit in a good place too, as far as like within the mix. It was just these high frequencies here were kind of a little piercing for me on the vocal. I would recommend, I don't know if you had like a two separate mixing, like a mixing engineer and a mastering engineer that did this differently. I don't know if this is something you did yourself, or are you engineering? Okay, so you're the engineer. Artist is Angel Romo. So Angel Romo is the artist. Super fire track. So go definitely check out Angel. And then Eric, you executive produced it. Did you? So Eric, you're the mixing engineer and the mastering engineer on this song. Let's see if he gets a response in the chat. I would say like these changes that I have, like these couple frequencies in the vocals, you're probably better off. I'm a big fan of making these edits in the mix before the master. So I would probably go in back on the mix and just maybe pull some of this out of the vocals so you don't affect like the hi-hat and some of the snare and stuff. And then run it back through your mastering chain just as a recall. I don't think you should. I usually don't like to adjust the master based on the mix if I'm able to adjust it in the mix first. I know sometimes, you're working with an outside mastering engineer. It's an extra cost to do that. So sometimes you got to just have the mastering engineer do stuff like this. But if you have the capability, I would make this change in the mix before sending to master. I think that's the best route. Amazing song. Mixed by EDG. That's the homie. Yeah, EDG does a great job. Who mastered it, Eric? Or did you master and EDG mixed it? We'll wait for him to respond on that one. In the meantime, while we wait on Eric's answer there, do we have Mike Jones in the chat? If you're in the chat, Mike Jones, throw up a thumbs up. Eric, so I see you put EDG there. So he did the master also. Yeah, I just think it's just that those top frequencies in the vocal. Maybe hit up EDG and see if he could soften those up just like a tiny bit. But yeah, Hassan, I see you say you submitted last week. Definitely resubmit this week as we only look at the live submissions per week. Mike Jones threw his thumb up, so we're ready there. I'm going to download this while we can see if Eric... 1 second. All right, so we're gonna download this. Man, that first song was fire. Who, Eric, if you know, or you said you executive produced it, who else was producing on that record? That thing was nice. Perfect. All right, so we've got Mike Jones. Mike Jones. All right, so we got Mike Jones loaded up, and Mike is. All right, Mike is looking for how to get warmer, dense vocals without losing the clearness. He's saying the vocals seem a little thin, and advice on placing vocals in a frequency pocket in the track. And then we want just general mixing advice on the overall balance and tone. Perfect. So we'll give that a listen. All right, cool. So let's run this. This looks like it could be a master as well. Let's just play this from the top.
I was speaking on E when the sun came up. I know that I'm me, can't trust no soul. Right in the dark, I had no home. She love me, but she ain't my host. I know we cousins, but we not close. They not fucking with me, I know. I've been on my own, no, I can't beg for understanding. I know they gon' change, cause I got racks coming in transit. You can't be my universe, oh no. Baby, you can sunshine, rainbows when the rain come, baby stay low. Keep it away with truth, baby I'm working on damaging you. I said it on cause it's something to do. You can get true like Big Mac, said you want someone real, I've been there. Cut off these hoes like Sinbad, I'ma just stay in my mode, all relax. Popping my shit in 3D, I was on band, now they all wanna be me. Going outside just ain't in the they not gon' stay to applaud. All of this pain still bears in the Lord. Spoke to the devil, he gave me a cause. These hoes like Sinbad, I'ma just stay in my mode, all relax. Popping my shit in 3D, I was on band, now they all wanna be me. Going outside just ain't in the cars, I know they not gon' stay to applaud.
All right, cool. Another fire ass song. Beat is amazing. I like the artist. The artist is doing their thing on there. You'll see I did these little cuts here in the top end. The vocals, I think why you think that they sound thin is because of all the top end that's added. I think if you take out some of that top end to smooth it out, the vocal is gonna feel like it's got more body to it. And fit in the mix a little bit better. I did see someone say turn them hi-hats up in here, the Sakura. The hi-hats probably could come up a little bit, but I also think that part of the reason why they're hard to hear is because of all of these frequencies that are added to the vocal are kind of masking these frequencies in the hi-hat, and this is where all the energy of the hi-hat is. So if you cut these out of the vocal, the hi-hat should cut through a little bit more. There's also, which I kind of like on this record, is the reverb has like a lot of that crispy top end added to it, which is kind of doubling up with the lead vocal as well, which is why this frequency is poking a little much. But the reverb having that effect kind of reminds me of like Trap Soul with Bryson Tiller and some of those mixes, and I like the texture that it adds. I think early like Tory Lane stuff had a lot of that type of reverb on there as well. I like the character that adds. I think if you just pull these frequencies out of like the main vocal, the reverb ones could probably shine through and not affect the hi-hats as much. But I think, yeah, we pull these out of the vocal and then even boost the hi-hat volume just a tiny bit so they cut through more. Especially in this record where it's like super vibey. Most of like the super high top end information for this song is coming from those hi-hats. So we want those to be heard more because they're adding a lot of that high frequency energy. And then cutting these out will get that body back in your vocal. I know you were saying could be thin. I see Toom, you're saying could be too much cutting on the vocal. You could add body back in on the vocal as well, and that'll kind of soften up the top end a little bit. But for me, I'm hearing that the top end is like too pronounced in the vocals. So I would first pull back on that top end, or do some of these surgical cuts on your vocal to get those smoothed out. And then when you smooth them out, if it still feels like a tiny bit thin to you, I would try pulling up like a Pultec EQP1A. That'll add some body on it as soon as you put the plugin on, but you can add some low end to it as well. This is going to affect, right now I don't have my UAD satellite plugged in, so you might want to use the UAD version of the Pultec or the Avid version. I think for vocals, I like the Avid version the best. It's a little expensive though, so if you have the UAD version, maybe go that route. But we'll pull up this Puig Tech, but your UAD one should look similar to this. Adding this body in here is going to also add to the low end, so we're not going to hear exactly what it would do 100% to the vocals separately. But just throwing this plugin on your vocal from the UAD version is going to add a little body to it just off of the plugin algorithm. And then I would play, I actually like to, instead of having this at 100, I like to start at 20 hertz and boost, and then I'll boost like a dB or so, and then I'll start cycling through these frequency ranges for the low end to see which one works best. And this is a shelf, so it shouldn't affect the phase of the vocal too much. So yeah, you might want to play with adding that if you want to add a little body after you smooth out the top end. You can also smooth out the top end with these vocals. I think let's check these frequencies. So this one here at 4K, you'll probably have to do with a different tool than the EQP1A. This is about 7K. This is about 10K. So what I would do is I would probably move this attenuation to 5, and this is gonna like darken the top end just a little bit off top. And then from there, I'd probably go to like 10K and maybe even attenuate a little bit. And the EQP1A is cool because you can boost both knobs if you want. So you could even get a little more aggressive with taking out the top end here and then boosting some back in, and it'll be a little smoother than it was. But let's see what it does.
I was taking on E when the sun came up. I know that on me can't trust no soul. Right in the dark, I had no home. She love me, but she ain't my host. I know we cousins, but we not close. They not fucking with me, I know. I've been on my own, no, I can't.
Yeah, so off rip, you could tell already, like just these moves right here already like softened up that top end on the vocal and added a little body. If you want, you could try to screenshot this if you want to play with that on your mix side, and kind of adjust from there. Obviously, this is done pretty quick, but it already sounded a lot smoother and a lot more full of a mix for me on that one. And then also, even with that one on, turning this one off, this 4K kind of comes through a little too much. So maybe think about cutting that out in your vocal chain with a Pro Q or something like that. Otherwise, the song's amazing. I really like the song. I think it's super vibey. Yeah, he said with the Pultec quick start tutorial. Yeah, I'll try to pull up plugins and stuff that might work for you. Obviously, this one is probably meant more for the vocal, not the whole mix in general, but you could kind of hear the effect that it had on the vocals and everything anyway. Also, don't sleep on the Pultec I know everybody like with the low end kind of jumps to Voice of God or R bass or max bass or any one of those lower harmonic stuff. Sometimes the Pultec and especially the Avid one and the UAD one, boosting the low sub shelf on those sometimes is a better choice for low sub stuff, or even like a Mag EQ4 boosting that sub knob for sub basses also helps, especially when it's something that's like you're just trying to add a touch of, like it's already pretty much there. I think I normally go for like R bass and Voice of God when the the actual sample used in the production for the 808 is just lacking a lot of sub. I think that's a better use for those. But if it's something where you're just trying to get like a little extra out of it, sometimes the Pultec or the Mag EQ is a better choice. Little cleaner as well with the phase and everything. Okay, cool. So we're gonna hide this one real quick, and then I see people going up in the chat. Yeah, see off the bat already sounding better. Yeah, it's just that top end, and I think I alluded to this in a previous stream. So like the top end being boosted, it gives the feeling that the record's louder, but it causes a lot of ear fatigue when the top end is a little harsh, which makes replayability a little tougher. So yeah, try to smooth out with a Pultec, and I think you'll be all right on that one there. Next up, we have Sprata or Sprata. If you're in the chat, throw me a thumbs up in this chat so we can review your song. And I see everybody in here. Yeah, I'm gonna go through the list. Whoever's in the chat, I'm gonna ask you to throw a thumbs up when I get to the song. If you don't respond right away, then we're just gonna move on to the next song and just go in order from how they were submitted for you guys. So I don't see anything from Sprata yet. We're just gonna move on to the next one. If Sprata comes back later and we have time, we can go back and review. Do we have David Herrera in the chat? If you are in the chat, throw me a thumbs up, David. What's up, Hassan? Is it AHK or is it Ak? What's up, Ak? Okay, cool. Oh, Sprata, I see you. My bad. I see you in the IG chat. Let me just throw yours up here real quick. All right, so for Sprata, and this song's called Rodman. And we're just going to download that real quick. All right. All right, fire. All right, so Sprata is really just asking for general feedback, whatever speaks to me. So I'm just gonna play the record. We'll give whatever we're hearing, we're gonna comment on. Let's make sure this is default. Okay, cool. Let's give it a listen.
We don't got one thing in common. There's something about you I get lost in. Yeah. If we don't lock, I'm Dennis Rodman. You pass through my mind too often. Ain't that so? It's a lot when you throw me a change up. I'ma throw in the towel when you wake up. I know what you about when the rain come, baby. For the plot, let me know where you came from. Angel in your bone with no makeup. From the top, if you want, we can make some. I'm tired of floating on my Johnny love. And I'm an open book, so sign me up. And I can't help myself, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. You the type to bring back the kinfolk. Head too far, I can see from the brim smoke. We been locked in love with a zip code. The checks too high, double back like a miss note, yeah. Gems when you talk, it's a payload, yeah. That's game when you walk with a halo, yeah. Face card finer than J-Lo, yeah. Got go yard on, but you lay low, yeah. A little more confrontation. Maybe that's all we need to turn about to conversations. Maybe your company goes farther than most constellations.
Hey, so the song is super fire. Who's the Sprata? Who's the artist? Are you? I know you're on the platform. So are you engineering or are you the artist as well? Let me know. Artist and producer. Yeah. Hey, artist side amazing. Producer side amazing. He's wearing all the hats. He said, and mixer. Yeah, no, you definitely cooking, bro. The beat off rip, like, super caught my attention. Very unique. Kind of like how I feel when when you listen to like a Smino record or something, like Monty and them that be producing for him. Like, it's just that your own sound, it just immediately grabs your attention. Like, yo, what's this about? The mix I thought was actually really good as well. The only thing I was really hearing was I threw this EQ on. I know it went across the whole track. When the vocals first came in, they sounded like a tad bit thin, not like crazy. As you can see, this is like very, very minimal. It's like 0.5 dB or so. I did use the tilt joint on here. I normally use the tilt curve for like proximity effect. So like if someone's too far when they record it, or someone's too up on the mic when they record it and you can hear it, I'll usually use the tilt shelf to kind of combat that a little bit. But I don't think like the vocals are too sibilant or anything. It just sounded like they might be a little thin, which kind of makes this 1 to 3K range poke out a little bit too much for me. But you could try something like this on your vocal, or even just I don't know what type of cuts you did on the low side of your vocal, but it felt like they were just like a tiny bit too thin, and that's really the only note I have on the mix side, is that they're a little bit too thin when they first came in. We can see if that curve helped on those, because as it gets in here later, the vocals fit pretty well.
We don't got one thing in common. There's something about you I get lost in. Wow. Yeah. If we on lock, I'm Dennis Rodman. You passed through my mind too often.
Yeah, so I think it sounds pretty good right there as far as what I'm hearing. It's like a little 0.7 boost in this part. I'd maybe try this on the vocal and not on the whole beat, obviously. But very good job on the mix. It's definitely impressive when you're the artist, producer, and the mixer to have a super fire beat, a good song, and then also be able to present a good mix. So hats off to you for being able to juggle all those jobs. Also, it looks, I checked the LUFs. It looks like you were hitting in a good range as far as volume. Anybody that's like watching the visuals of this, you can see like the waveform here. And let's just blow this up. A lot of transients, which is a great sign, especially when tracks are hitting at the LUFs that they're hitting at. To maintain these transients is super good as well. So yeah, I think that's a great job on your end. Only note I have is the vocals sounded a little thin when they come in, and with the drums being so big and prominent like they should be, especially with how unique they are. I think you just add a little body back to the vocal to get them to sit better with those, and everything's good after that. I see somebody in Instagram saying that the website thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna post. Here's the forums link. We'll have to check in on the website situation, but this is the forums link if you want to submit for Instagram. Great job, Sprata. Sprata, shout out your what's your at? Put all your info in the chat. Whoever's in YouTube, Sprata's in the IG chat. I believe in just looking at it, his IG handle is SPRATTA_. Let me see if I can type that in for y'all. All right, so that's the IG handle for Sprata for anybody that wants to go check out his music, mixes, production, all of that. Definitely seems like Sprata knows what he's doing in all three aspects, so definitely check him out for any of your music production needs. Great job. That was fire. We got some bangers today. Y'all are sending in some heat today. I'm loving it. All right, so let's see who's next on the list. I know I called out David, and then Sprata said he was in here. David, David Herrera, are you in any of the chats here? we'll give you a couple seconds here to give us a thumbs up in the chat if you are in here. If not, we'll move on to the next one. John Vincent Music. We're going to post the form here in, so actually, Tony, I just posted the link that you could submit to. There's a lot of submissions. I'm just going through whoever's in the chat. We'll see how many we get through, and then we'll do this again next week. So if you don't make it on today's live, be sure to submit next week. We'll do an Instagram story post and stuff to when you can start submitting, so that you can get a chance to get in there as well. It is first come, first serve, and whoever's in the chat as well. So I didn't get a response from David, it looks like. So we're just gonna move on. It looks like next we have Star Exotic Bullies. I know that you had put something in the chat earlier. So I believe you're still in here. Just download this. And there he is with the thumbs up. Appreciate you. All right. So let's see what type of notes. We want feedback on the mix and flow. I recorded myself and mixed it. So Star Exotic recorded this and mixed it himself. Let's pull this into Pro Tools. Let's see what you got for us. Let's see what you got. We're on a run for these songs. I might need some links from y'all. Listen to these songs in my free time. All right, cool. So let's start this one from the top and see what we got.
Hey yo, rock a gold presidential. It's all confidential in a continental. Share my thoughts through a pencil. Spoke rap in Swahili, artwork, graffiti. Believe me, when you see me about that fettuccine, draped in Prada. Street niggas keep a lotta. If you try to holler, watch yourself at the door. Be the Rockwallers, running with chrome piece, aimed at your dome piece. Trying to have my own beats. Right now I got my home lease. My whole crew style foul. Man selling dope loud, pushing babies like a mother having a child. Trying to bubble like fish grease. This week, each peak, police running street sweeps, but black keep eat. Bout my cheddar, rocking fly velvet sweaters, dope boys betters. Who got the heaviest leather, son? My shirt open like I flirt, sipping bubbly. The king lovely, 10 countries, pledge allegiance, different regions, so distinguished, pushing pack. The truck got a space like Venus in a Tahoe. With a motto, she drink Moscato, my belt Ferragamo. We outta here pronto, it's Nino, nigga.
All right, super fire song. I seen in the chat. There's an open verse. You're saying if anybody want to hop on this thing, I love it. It's this got the real ode to traditional hip hop. I like everything. The vibe's cool. Mix wise, I was just hearing there's just not a lot of low end to kind of wrap like a warm blanket around the vocals. The vocals sound good. Like the way the vocals are mixed are nice. I think it's just like the drums and the kick and everything feels a little mid and top heavy, which kind of I think you'd get a little more separation from the vocal to let them kind of breathe in their own spot and also add a little warmth, a little analog vibe to this this record. So this boost that I did in the middle, this is mainly for like the snare and stuff, somewhere around 400 or so. And then this down here is super low subby stuff. Keep in mind when you boost, like I know everybody with kicks and things is like, oh, 50 hertz, 60 hertz, all of that, which is true. Sometimes boosting the super low subs, they change the phase of the sound in a better way to me. So it's like you could get a little bit of that low end in there without overcrowding this space in here, which this sounded better to me just off rip. So yeah, that would be my only note, would be to go into the beat mix and kind of get some more warmth out of the beat mix. to really sit with the vocals and kind of decrease some of the ear fatigue a little bit that might occur when this is mastered and super loud. But otherwise, great job. I did see in the Instagram chat, David is here, so we're gonna pull David's up next. My bad for not seeing you there, David. I just missed your response in there. So let me just download David's here, so we can get going. Star Exotic Bullies really like the song. They said if anybody wants to jump on an open verse, definitely hit them up. Post your handle and your socials and everything in the chat for people to see. And then David, let's get yours downloaded so that we can review. Another banger. They've been all bangers today. Everybody's bringing heat. Very cool. Very cool. All right, and then David just wants notes on the overall mix. So let's see what we got. And then it looks like, David, it says EC Mojave 7. Just want to make sure that's the right song for you. Sometimes the Google Sheet be playing some games on you. Okay, cool. So this one looks like it does have some sort of mastering on it as well, just from looking at the waveform. But let's give this one a listen.
En la Mojave me la paso al 100, bien tranquilito con mis compas me han de ver. Con prenda de marca, Miri LB, dicen que cambié, soy el mismo de siempre. Las patrullonas nos persiguen por doquier, por el mandado que se va pa' USA. Por si hay guerra o no más por la ocasión, cualquier pendiente estamos listos pa' la acción. No se metan conmigo, yo se los tengo ya advertido, no quedará. Se las tiro, la Mojave al tiro cuando salgo a dar el rol. El móvil encendido por si llama el patrón. Me gusta la adrenalina estimular. 5 estrellas llevo como en GTA.
Así nomás, compa sicario. Estamos a la orden, viejo. Y así suena su compa Elian Contreras.
Hey, this is fire. I know my girl's Latina, so I listen to banda and corridos all the time. This shit fire. I really like this. These little adjustments I did in here, I liked how the vocals sounded. I felt like the bass could have come out a little bit more, which is why this shelf is there. This little boost, just the mids, was more for like that super clicky percussion. It really punches through the mix, and I love the punchiness of it. I think if you just added a little bit of more body to that, it would smooth it out a little bit and still retain the punchiness that you're going for. So it's not so intrusive in the mix. And then the only other thing is when the accordion sounding instrument comes in, you might be able to add a little top end to that just so it sounds a little bit more shiny and separated from the vocal a little bit. The song is super fire. Everything else is great. The mix is well balanced as far as volume levels and everything go. I think it's just adding some of this low end for the bass to get some warmth in there, a little more warmth on that like clicky percussive noise, and then maybe just some top end on the accordion joint. And I think that would sound great. Love the song though. Everybody's coming with the heat today. I see in the YouTube chat, que pasa jefe. I like all that. Yeah, vocals sounded really good. And actually a lot of the banda and corridos songs that I hear, like the vocal is always done very well. They're never over accentuated in the top end and stuff. They're always really smooth vocals, which I super appreciate with the genre. So great job. Really great job. All right, let's set this back to default for us. All right, and so Let's see what we got next on this list here for us. All right, general feedback, mixed thoughts. Okay, Mike the Sun, are you in the chat here? Throw a thumbs up for me if you're in here, Mike the Sun. He said it's in Filipino though. Is that Tagalog or Ilocana? All right. Sorry, the chat's going super crazy, so I'm just trying to see if we got a thumbs up here from Mike the Sun or not. I do not see anything from Mike the Sun. So for time purposes, let's just move on for now. Elian Contreras, are you in the chat? Throw a thumbs up for me in the chat if you're in here. Yeah, Jay Mees, all these songs been bangers for real. Oh, Basaya, okay. Okay, word. All right, I didn't hear anything from Elian. YC, are you in the chat? Throw a thumbs up for me if you're in here, YC. All right, we'll give it like another 20 seconds or so. YC, why don't I see you is the question. All right, cool. Oh, there's Mike the Sun. All right, Mike, we're going to throw yours in here. I see you in there now. One second. Mike the Sun. All right, cool. We're just going to download this real quick, Mike the Sun, and then we'll get this played and get some feedback going. Mike, you're just looking for general mixed feedback and initial thoughts. We can do that for you. Let's import this for you. All right, so photo vocal master, all night vibes. All right, let's give this one a play from the top.
Lift off, yo, check.
Yo, I gotta take the UFOs like a motherfucking shot, nigga.
Yeah, hey, yo. Do you feel this? Do you feel this shit? Do you feel this? Do you feel this shit? I don't know.
Ask him if they feel the shit. You feel the shit? But he know it's hard. Gotta play the team, yeah. Do your part. Yeah, find the energy and spark. Whole unity, yeah, flow it hard. Hey, had to find the chapter. Make adjustments, yeah, you know we had to find it after all the lessons been through. Yeah, let the story just be continued. Through the galaxy, watch us flow. Elevate each other like whoa. One more time.
Start to drift off. Walking around stomping like we pissed off. Call me agile. Photo snap for a rap that pads back. I keep you falling back on a new track, new snack. Snap my fingers to a tincture, thought you knew that. Paint a picture for the gun that drew that. All over the new mats, new tats, news hits hues, thought you knew rap. Why don't you do that?
All right. I like the vibe of the beat. It's got like that kind of abstract feel, like super hip hoppy sound. Really like that. I feel like for me the vocals off rip are a little on top of the mix to where like the snare kind of gets buried a little bit. Also, I think the kick also could punch through a little bit more. I feel like the kick's kind of like blended in with the bass and kind of tucked. You can go in and try to boost maybe the fundamental of the kick, which looked like it was around 45, 50 hertz, something like that. Maybe even boost the volume. Another thing I like to use on kicks sometimes to get them to cut, if you're in Pro Tools. If you're not in Pro Tools, you won't be able to use this plug. But yeah, the lo-fi, just like with like a touch, either like 0.1 on the distortion, or if you go 0.2 on distortion, maybe 0.1 on saturation.
Do you feel this shit?
Yeah, so you can feel the kick already punch a little bit more just with adding the lo-fi on there. If you're in Pro Tools, try to mess with lo-fi. If not, there's like tape head or something like that. Might work as well for that. Maybe even punch, the punch feature on knock would work. And then we took out this little notch was just for the vocals. It feels like the vocals got like some frequencies and like the low mids that are a tiny bit muddy. That's also probably why the vocals feel a little bit on top of the snare. So maybe play with that a little bit, and then also look into boosting maybe some body in the snare so that they kind of sit a little bit better with the vocals in that one. Otherwise, I think sounded pretty good mix-wise. I think as far as like the song goes, if you're looking for song feedback, I think there's like, it's just bars. I feel like, adding a hook section that's different than the verses would help, or even if it's just going to be straight gassing on bars, maybe mess with the arrangement of the beat to kind of change up some sections so it doesn't get too monotonous. But yeah, I think overall it was a pretty good vibe. So I'm thinking we're getting pretty close towards the end here. I'm going to do like 2 more before we call it a wrap for today. Let's see if Dylan John, are you in the chat? Throw up a thumbs up for us if you're in the chat. Sai, what up? I see you. All right, Dylan John's up in here. Okay, cool. Let's get this downloaded for you. All right. And this is called Lean on My Love. We're just downloading. Man, we really had some bangers in here. I think in the future we might, when we do like some, we might have like some like competitions or something like that in the community of engineers. So if you're not on engineers, hop on engineers. And as an artist, in future stuff, nothing set up yet, but in the future, if you want to submit songs and stuff to be mixed for competitions and things, we'll probably have some of that in the future. So if you're not on engineers as an artist, definitely go sign up. Take advantage of that. For Dylan John, said this is a song he made a while ago. It's recently mastered. Just asking if it's ready to be put out and is there enough separation in the hook elements. So let's pull this into Pro Tools real quick and give it a gander. All right, and again, this is called Lean on My Love. All right, so it's a master. Looks like it's got good transients. Let's hear it from the top.
1, 2, 3, and.
Don't ever let the pressure get the best of you. You were born to inspire like you do. When you're the superhero, I feel like one too. Looking up at the moon, I feel a metaphor scheming. The night is dark, but you're beaming hard, sliding up for a reason. You never thought it'd get you this far. Every day is your season. Cause you've been cut from a different cloth. But ain't nobody ever do this on their own. Oh, baby, wipe the tears from your eyes when it gets tough. Lean on my love. got self-respect. Nothing but W's in my alphabet. Ooh, baby, wipe the tears from your eyes when it gets tough. Lean on my love.
Song's amazing. Mix sounds good too. I think in the hook there where that extra guitar comes in to kind of boost things, that sounds a little thin to me, this part. So like those chords that come in on that other, it sounds like a guitar to me. It could just be like a plucky instrument that sounds kind of nylon-y to me, but that one sounds a little thin. I would say maybe add some body or put like a decapitator on there and add some saturation to bring out the body so that it kind of stands on its own and you can hear it a little more. One other trick, especially on like songs like this where it's kind of got like a pop vibe to it as well, in the hook, sometimes I'll have like a fab filter. Let's just pull this up real quick. So sometimes I might have a fab filter and like in this like 2K range, you do like a 1 dB boost on the sides or something like that. So yeah, this one I ended up at just quick run through is about 800 hertz to 1,000, something like that. I'll automate an EQ on like the stereo bus, or if you have like a mix bus, a music bus before it hits your mix bus. I might throw one of these on there and then bypass it, and it only automates on in the hook section. And sometimes it's a cool effect where it kind of just feels like everything explodes like open wise for the hook to make it feel a little bit bigger. But otherwise, I'm not mad at the mix in general, just throughout. Yeah, I think all that sounds good. I think it's really just that one instrument that comes in the hook could probably have a little bit more body, or add a saturator that like a decapitator with like the end saturation on there kind of makes it a little darker, and you could use it in parallel if it's too much. Just play with the mix knob. But overall, I think the song's really good. I think if you did release it, I think it would still be well received. But if it were me, I would probably just clean up the hook, that instrument a little bit, and then maybe try that little widening part for the hook to kind of make that section feel just a tiny bit bigger. But otherwise, I think that was a really good job. Really good job. All right, so we're going to do one more. If you didn't get yours reviewed today, just submit next week. We'll be on every week to do it. And I really appreciate it. I mean, the turnouts are always really good. The submissions, there's a bunch. Let's see. Mac Terror, are you in the chat? We'll give y'all a couple seconds. Mac Terror. Sakura, always appreciate you in here, being super active in the chat. I think it's very important for all of us to kind of lift each other up and stuff, especially in any music community. As everybody knows, there's a lot of ups and downs, and sometimes those downs, they're a little bit easier to take when other people are investing some time into your music. So super cool. Yes, Tokyo, it is every Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Mac Terror, I see you with the thumbs up on the IG. So this is going to be the last one that we do today. We'll get to everybody else. Just submit next week, and we'll get you in. It's just first come, first serve, and whoever's in the chat. So make sure you're here when you submit. Let's get this downloaded here. All right, cool. So that's downloading now. And as far as notes, Mac, you're looking for, is the mix and master any good? Is the stereo width okay? And is the panning too much? So let's give it a listen and see. I'm just gonna import this into Pro Tools for us. And it looks like it's not _UR5 analog master Taylor. So that's the title of this file. All right. Let's play this one from the top. Ooh, that's fire. All right, I think the mix sounds good to me. This little boost that right here is just for the snare. I feel like the snare sounds just like a tiny bit lower, not as present as I would like to hear, especially with like, you know, tracks that are scarce vocally. I feel like it's important for some of those other elements to kind of jump out. But for me, everything sounded really good, really balanced. I think the snare and stuff could have had this little bit of body added to it, just to kind of bring it to the forefront just a little bit more. And the only other thing I hear, which is it's not a bad thing, and it's a production choice on the 808 where it has like that kind of top end sizzle sound in the sample as well. So I like that sound because it adds like some texture to it. I just feel like it could be a little less prominent with the 808 being like a loud part of the mix. You might be able to just like shelf a tiny bit of it out just a little bit. But that's just a personal thing for me. It just sounds like when the vocals and stuff aren't there, like sometimes it sounds like, you know, like when your cable on your headphones is not all the way in and it gets that like little static kind of sound, which isn't bad. I like it for the production stuff. I just think it might just be a little like a touch too prominent. But I like how the bass is hitting in my headphones. I feel like everything sounds good. I would just add that little bit of body to the snare or even the drums. If you could try it on all of the drums if you have a drum bus, but otherwise I think it sounded good. I don't have much notes beyond that. It being a producer heavy track, I like the affected vocals and everything. They're not up front, so it kind of leaves the emotion to the production, which I think is the goal in this type of song. But yeah, I think otherwise it sounds good. But this is the last one that we were gonna do. I know there's a bunch of people submitted. We'll have submissions open again next week for the same time, Mondays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time. Get your submissions in and then be present in the chat. I will go through submissions in order as they came in, and we'll see if the people there are in the chat. If you don't respond in the chat, then we'll move on to the next song to try to get somebody else that's in the chat reviewed to give them some feedback. You can submit at thecartestlive.com. I know today there was an issue with the link, so I posted the form link straight up. We'll look into that and have have that taken care of for you for next week. So yeah, just submit your submissions to the Car Test Live next Monday. I'll pull them up. The amount of submissions and the love that everybody's showing every week. The goal is to eventually extend the length of the live stream so that we can cover more songs for more people. So keep doing what you're doing. As we see, we've got plenty more to review every week. So we will look into extending the stream in the near future. Next week we'll do another hour, but we'll look to extend in the near future to try to get more people reviewed in the live stream. Otherwise, thanks for coming out. It's always fun with everybody. Appreciate the love the community. Everybody's giving each other feedback and trying to better each other, and that's what this is all about. So we'll keep this going, and hopefully we'll start extending the live stream so that more people can get viewed in here. If you do want to hit me up or anything, on Instagram or anything, I won't review songs or anything, but if you have, a mixed question of some sort, feel free to reach out to me. I will put my handle in the chat here for all of y'all. All right, so that's my handle in the chats there. If you want to DM me, if you have a mixed question, I'm always down. Always down to give feedback. I'm also on Engineers on the platform as an engineer as well. If you want to check that out, feel free. And then, yeah, I look forward to seeing everybody next week. And also, just a reminder, everybody, when your song is being reviewed, make sure you drop all your handles and anything that's that people can reach you on or view your music on. I want to keep building amongst the community and really help each other lift up in the industry. I know it's a tough one. So thank you all for coming out. We'll see you next week on Monday for the Car Test Live at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time. And until then, keep mixing.